This is the Best Experience with your host, Nick Best and the Angry Dad. And before we get into today's podcast, I'd like to thank our podcast sponsors, Barbell Apparel, a premium athletic wear engineered for performance with a tailored athletic fit, refined clothing for an athletic body type. Evolution Athletics, supportive gear company owned by Brian Shaw, four-time world's strongest man. We believe in all athletes and supporting their journey towards greatness. First Porm, our mission is to help real people get real long-term results. All the links in the notes. Please go check them out. It really helps us. We appreciate it. And with that said, Nick, there's been some big announcements. Announcements for the Shaw. It's like a nice steady stream of like who's confirmed to be there.
I know, it's good. I'm excited about the Shaw Classic. I mean, not only is this going to be Brian's last strongman show ever, it's going to have a heck of a lineup as well. And then, he's going to have the expo outside, so that's going to be pretty cool. So there's going to be a big expo with it, and then the contest, and we're going to be doing guest lecturing. I know I'm going to be speaking at the thing and doing a Q&A and talking and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun just all the way around. But I just can't wait to see the guys lift the stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be fun because there's gonna be a lot of new things happening, a lot of things that are new. Like I said, I just saw Brian put a post out talking about that they're changing all the seats for the show, so like everyone's gonna be having new cushioned seats at the show. Yeah. And then so this is the first time they're having an expo, so there's a lot of expectations for expos and stuff like that. But I can't wait to see like the interaction, the fan interaction, or if they're gonna actually have some strongmen that are in the competition walking through or even doing appearances after there's a lot of little things that I know won't happen, but it's stuff that we would almost think that as a fan we would like to happen, where or at least if there's going to be some people there, just kind of walking around signing, which you're going to be walking around, so there's going to be a lot of people getting pictures and signing stuff.
Oh yeah, the guys are going to be around. They're going to walk through the stuff. They're going to be out there. Most strongmen are very approachable unless it's game day. Yeah. And then as soon as game day is over, like after that, they're fine as long as they eat. So, there'll be plenty of that. There'll be plenty of fan interaction.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely. And we have a total of 16 competitors actually going to be at this show. Is that the same number that they have last year?
Yeah, Brian does 16 competitors. So. Yeah, it looks like he's got one left to announce because there's 15 that are officially in. Yeah. So
here, I'll read through the list.
Okay.
We have Tom Stoltman, Kevin Ferris, Avars, Evan Singleton, Bobby Thompson, Luke Stoltman, Alexei Novikov, Trey Mitchell, Pavlo. I can't remember how to say it, but it starts with an N. Thomas Evans, Pavlo, and I'm going to probably butcher the hell of this, Klavak, I can't remember. I'm just not going to try, but it's Pavlo with a K. He was actually world's strongest man. Yeah, something like that. And man, he was very impressive at Worlds because a completely different type of body type, it's just, he was very impressive at the world's strongest man.
As good as he was when he puts on 30 pounds, that's going to be really scary.
Exactly. And then we have 2003 World's Strongest Man champion, Mitchell Hooper.
2023?
And then we have 2023.
You said 2003.
Oh, 2003. And then we have Adam Bishop. And then we have the return of Maxine. And, he recently broke his leg right before last year. So, or it was the beginning of the year. And so, this I'm thinking it's his first show back. I'm not 100% true.
It is.
Or understand it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his first show back, and then because he missed the Arnold, and then he missed, World's Strongest Man. So, it sucks. But Maxine's a heck of a competitor, and he'll be prepared. He'll be ready to go.
Oh yeah, and I've been keeping up on him on Instagram. So he's definitely been posting a lot of good lifts, a lot of good pushes. He does look a little downsized still, but he's still got a lot of time to put some more size back on. At least that's just from my view. You know what I'm saying? I was like, because I know, with that kind of accident, breaking your leg, you can't really do much. You know what I'm saying? To like, because you got to make that choice of like, continuing to eat and keep size, or just kind of just let your body relax, let your body recover, and then just don't worry about, trying to maintain as much size as you need as a strongman.
Right. I think Maxime's got a pretty good amount of time to go, so I think he'll be fine and ready to go by the time he gets there.
Yeah.
And then Brian's looking in shape.
Oh yeah, he's definitely looking in shape. That bench press video he just put up looked pretty good. And with this, like, I don't know how many times they've bench pressed in any strongman competitions, because I've never really seen it. Is that like your in your opinion, Nick, is that something that's gonna? It is a static strength. You need to be large to put the numbers up. But the thing is like, what would be your approach and your thought process of trying to like really dial? Because this is not a powerlifting meet. This is a going for reps.
Right, but it's increasing weight each time, so you're gonna have to go for reps. I mean, the best thing you could do is probably get to the max weight and do that as many reps as you can. So you're gonna want to train, somewhere between 350, on 1 week for as many reps as you can, and then go up to 500 and get as many reps as you can, and just keep bouncing back and forth. So when you finally get to the last weight, which the rumor is it's 500 pounds, and you go to do that for reps, you're going to need to get as many as you can. So by the time they get to that, I think it'll be the 5th or 6th barrel, maybe even 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
I haven't got to talk to Brian too much to find out how many barrels are going to drop in. I'm sure he's going to release all that as well.
Oh yeah.
But you're going to have to be up in the 8 to 12 rep range, like total, by the time you get there. So yeah, it's cool. I personally would love to see this event more, because I was always a pretty good bench presser when I was younger, and we never had it in a strongman contest ever. So it's kind of neat, and I like it as much, if not more, than the overhead pressing. So matter of fact, I like it more than the overhead pressing.
Well, here's my question that I'm going to ask you, because like I said, you're a powerlifting champion. You've set records. You've done an awful lot of things. And so in the aspect of a powerlifting meet style, and like you've already told what you should train, what do you think because like even when you're powerlifting and you're in a comp, there is a pause. There has to be a certain amount of control. There has to be a certain amount of lift. Do you feel like we're just going to get them to come in and just bang it out, or is there, because there's he's gonna make them stop.
Yeah, you have to stop when they load the barrel in.
Yeah,
so you're gonna have to sit there and wait, and then you're gonna get a press command each time, and then when you get to the last one, I'm fairly sure you're gonna get a press command each time. Yeah. So I would stop for, like, as the weights are going up, probably I would almost do between a 2 and 3 second pause, because it's going to take a second for those barrels to drop in.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the last one, it'll probably be like a 1 second pause, because there's nothing else to drop in. It's just bring it down, stop it, press it off, bring it down, stop it, press it off.
There we go.
But you're gonna want to stay tight the whole time. You're not gonna want to like relax and take the pressure off the bar. So it's gonna be a time under tension lift as well.
Okay. See, and like I said, watching everyone on social media, because people are posting their strongman training for benching, they're doing these things, but it's like it's not going to be your typical bench press. So I was like, I haven't seen anybody really practice, or if they're not posting it, not practicing what you're talking about, like that style of like, give it a pause, hold it, have that tension, be ready. You know what I'm saying? So because there is a difference between bench pressing and then like trying to press for this power that's actually going to be happening.
There's a massive difference between the two, actually. I mean, guys can, you'll see guys, that are able to bounce 500 off their chest for tons of reps, but they get in a powerlifting meet and they might get 500 for one if they're lucky, because it's a whole different ballgame, and you got to stop it at your chest. There's no motion. There's nothing. It's stop and go. So I think that's, like, the guys that aren't doing that are going to pay for it.
Yeah. Now, here's my other question. With all the other events happening, which is the most, what's the event that you're really looking to see besides the bench?
I'm looking to see the apparatus for the single fingers, because what I'm to understand is it's going to ratchet up, so it won't drop back down on the guys. So if they're actually a decently heavy set of fingers, and the guy kind of like gives out, he can stop, get reset underneath it, and keep pushing it up. I'm sure Brian will come up with a way to where you have to press it only with your hands or something.
Yeah.
That way you just can't pop it up completely with your shoulder all the way through.
Yeah.
Because if guys are not the greatest at shouldering, walking it with their hands, which would be me, I would immediately just put it on my shoulder and just keep cranking it up with my shoulder. So I'm sure he'll probably write something into the rules saying you got to be at arm's length, that type of stuff as you're going over, but you can still reset and get a leverage point. So that'll be kind of cool. And then you're going into a power stair. So, I mean, the event's timed. It's for speed.
Yeah.
So, it might take you a long time to get them up, but it's a speed event. And then you get to the power stairs, and that's going to be interesting as well because Brian's implements are pretty serious.
Yeah. So, He's got some heavy equipment there.
Well, I've seen them, so they're pretty serious. It'll be a challenging set of power stairs, so it's going to be fun to watch.
All right, now I'm not asking for a top 5, but who is to be on the watch? You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, after seeing Worlds, and then there's a whole bunch of events that just happening. Who's the person to keep an eye that like, because we have a good idea of who's going to be in the top, but who's somebody that you're interested in watching them perform in this Shaw Classic? Someone that's like maybe under the radar.
Yeah, I mean, Pablo will be interesting and fun to watch. I mean, Hooper's always fun to watch. Trey's won the contest twice. Yeah. So, or is it 3 times? I'm losing it twice. So, I'm losing track of how many he's done. So that'll be good. And of course, Brian's always, I always love watching Brian compete and train and everything. I mean, in my opinion, he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest I've ever seen do it. So,
which is a fair statement, because let me tell you right now, Brian, just talking with everyone that we've talked to and then interviews that we've done, people, like a lot of the strongman community not owes a lot, but like should, understand that Brian's done a lot to expand this sport to make it like what it is for everyone now.
Oh yeah. Well, there's Brian, Eddie, Derek Poundstone, Steve those are all guys that have had a massive impact long-term on the sport. Yeah. And I mean, even Robert and myself, through the TV show had an impact on it, and then through competing and stuff like that. But Brian's definitely had a massive impact on the sport. I mean, you got to understand, they took events out of certain things because Brian could do it. Yeah. And the guy that he was going head to head against couldn't do it and score enough points to win anymore. So, he won whether they were setting it up or not. So that was fun to watch.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely fun to watch. And like I said, I'm looking forward for the Shaw Classic to come up. And like I said, there's just so many crazy things that are getting ready to happen because we got Shaw Classic coming up, and then you have the Giants Live UK versus the United States. Yeah, and, that's getting to come up. The teams, I don't know if they have announced a lot of the people on the teams yet.
I think they did a little bit of that, but I haven't paid as much attention as I should have.
Well, don't worry. We're going to be. We're going to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we'll give as much of an update as we can for a lot of people that are out there. That we're going to do what we can when these events happen. Because guess what? We want to get out the right information because everyone loves to know what's going on and loves to see what's going on.
No, absolutely.
And then you just being an ambassador of the sport is just something that everyone always appreciates. So it's like, we want to make sure we do what we can for everybody. And that's one of the reasons we like talking about this, because it's a passion that Nick has and loves, and definitely drawing me a lot deeper into the sport where I'm really paying attention to the points, the scores, and a lot of this up and coming new younger generation, because like I said, it's I'm used to power bellies and I'm used to You know, that's what I grew up
And
watching.
a lot of the new guys coming in don't
Yeah.
have the power bellies.
Yeah, they don't. They're coming in shredded and thick. So it's like,
yeah,
the game is definitely evolving, and it's fun to watch it because, like I said, it's just you have two different types of strongman event shows that happen.
Yeah, I think it's getting away from the utter limit static strength events and going more back towards still super heavy, but more athletic as well.
Yeah.
You know, and that's always fun to watch. You know, and it's going to go through its cycles. I mean, it went through a massive cycle when I first came in and Brian came in and Sojournis, and it took it moved so far forwards. I mean, back when I first came in, an 800-pound yoke was heavy, and now it's a light amateur yoke.
Yeah.
So, you know, the sport's evolved a lot. And so now you're seeing, you know, 1,000-pound, 1,100. You're not seeing the crazy yokes at 1,300 to 1,500 pounds anymore.
Yeah.
People break under that stuff. So
yeah,
I like it. I like kind of the direction it's going. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
We get to see strength athletics, not just static strength. There's already sport for static strength. It's called powerlifting.
You know,
you want to see a strength athlete as well. So really statically strong, but also able to move and do other things.
Exactly. So, it's a big time. You know, like one of the events that I'm looking for next year for Worlds is when they do the pull, that they bring in something decently heavy and just like ridiculous to pull. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know this year it was a lot faster, and you know, within milliseconds between competitors. But I definitely
for the bus pull.
Yeah, for the bus pull. You know, I want, the truck pull. You know what I'm saying? I want like back in the, like you guys pulled a plane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something that's
different times.
Exactly. So I want to talk about something like that. You guys did the monster truck, pulled monster trucks. You guys pulled planes, it pulled up. You know, like I said, that is something I looked for, like with the way everyone is now, because it takes mass to move mass. But the thing is, when you got pure strength, like some of these guys are coming in now without as much mass.
Right.
It'd be fun to see that difference in there.
Well, what'll be fun to see is, since they're talking about doing it inside of an arena now, what type of vehicle they would use. The bus or a tractor trailer somewhere in that neighborhood would be more logical, because moving it back and forth is better. The monster trucks are put together little kind of awkward. So I think like a bus, but more air to the tires, that type of thing, or just a big heavy, tractor trailer, that type of stuff.
You know, they should definitely sell tickets for the bus pull for people to be in the bus while it's being pulled. I definitely think, because there was a lot of rumbling of that. Like, why would we ever do that? I'm like, guess what? People will pay, or even too, you got VIP booth. You pay for the VIP. Guess what? VIPs, if you like to be in the truck or the bus while they pull, guess what? You know what I'm saying?
Throw some extra weight in there.
Exactly.
The funny thing is you can load that thing full of people, and at the end of the day, it's not even going to make that big of a difference. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Is because you get 30 seats, so you get an extra 20, 30,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll make a little bit of a difference, but
just tiny bit. You know what I'm saying? For the average person, that's a lot, but for a strong man, it's like, that's a drop in the bucket. I can handle that.
On a heavy vehicle pull, it won't be that bad.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. We're not in charge of it.
That's it. So. With everything going on too, like I said, a lot of stuff going on strongman, a lot of stuff coming up. But Nick, I know you have a deadlift seminar. We talked about it a little bit. We didn't talk about it as much as we should. But the thing is this going to be something that we're going to be doing more often, where people want to improve their deadlifts. People want to change their deadlifts, and like with going into the deadlift seminar for this weekend, which is going to be past, because by the time this podcast comes up,
right.
You know what I'm saying, we'll already be past the date. But what are the big key points that you want to drive when we're talking about this deadlift seminar?
Well, the key points I'm going to drive is my technique, Brian's technique, Jerry's technique. Everybody's technique, you got to find is different. There is no one perfect technique. The perfect technique is the one that fits you, where you can lift the most weight without getting injured. Period.
Mm-hmm.
That is so. KK was one of the best deadlifters of all time. And you guy pulled over 900 pounds with a super narrow technique, even more narrow than I am, and a rounded back. So it's not there is no perfect. What there is what's perfect for you that you don't get hurt from doing. And so we're going to look at going through that, explaining that to people, getting people set up on the bar, seeing where they're comfortable at the bottom, what they look like at the top, that type of thing, and fix their technique, because no one technique, there's a basic premises to start from, and then you just move out from there. And that's kind of how you achieve the perfect technique for each individual person.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, people's shins are different lengths, people's thighs are different lengths, people's torsos are different lengths, their arms are different lengths, their hands are different sizes.
Yeah.
So all that comes into effect on everything. So we're going to go through that, each individual step, and then go through those with people, and then talk about some of my training philosophies on those, on how to work certain areas of it and improve in those areas, and then kind of like do question and answer type of thing. So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna start small, because this is gonna be like my first one where I just kind of do it by myself.
Yeah.
And then branch out from there. Each one's gonna be a learning experience, and
exactly
just, kind of do that. And then when I go to Norway at the end of June, that I'll be in there with Ed Cohen. So you're in there with the GOAT.
That's it.
So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. I'm really looking forward to that.
That's good. And then actually, because me and Nick are, well, Nick's on another podcast at Legends Iron, and Ed Cohen's episode's coming out Thursday. So it'd be this Thursday after this podcast comes out. His episode will be dropping. So definitely keep an eye out for that.
But I'm going to start kind of doing more lectures and talking about that, and then kind of like technique adjustment type of things, because I really don't have the time to sit down behind a computer and punch out programs that much. Yeah. So it's gonna be kind of cool. So going that route with it, and
that's something that I've always seen with you, because like it's always weird, because like I always want to say like a Rain Man experience, but you're not like that. But what it is you can see something, and instantly, and I've seen you do it, where you watch somebody do something, you see a situation, or you see what's happening during an event, and you're like, this is what they need to fix. This is what you need to fix. This is what you need to change. And then as soon as they do that change, it's like, boom, they've corrected what was wrong, and they're like, oh my God, like, and it's so crazy how quickly you can identify stuff like that.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, Colin Rhodes, one of my friends, I kind of was like watching his deadlift technique, and I was like, do me a favor. He goes, what? I go, move your hands out on each side. Keep pulling in like that, but move your hands out each side about 1.5 inches. And I just noticed his arms were getting bound up into his legs, and it was messing everything up. And then boom, his deadlift comes up. Kristen Rhodes came over here. She's one of the greatest strong women of all time. Came over and pulled a 65-pound PR on the deadlift. She pulled like 565. So it was kind of neat that we were able to fix her technique that day, and she just pulls it right up. And it's just a matter of just adjusting a couple little things. And sometimes you're going to look at somebody and you're not going to see anything and be like, well, you know what? You're just going to have to keep working and grinding it out. Everything looks atomically correct to the best leverages for your body. Now it's just put work in. And
that's it.
Other things are little adjustments here and there, and it makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, no, and that's one of the biggest things too. Is like that, like a lot of times, a lot of us get stuck in a rut where we're like, this is how I do this, and then and then all of a sudden they don't see an ability to change when you can adjust. Because I've had a few things. I've always played with my feet wide. I've played with my feet thin. I've played with my feet, like shoulder width, and then like even to like an over under hook when I deadlift, it is just a regular overhand grab is best for me, because when I have my hand positioning in there, it's never comfortable for me. You know what I'm saying? It like almost puts too much stress on my shoulders where I can't fully retract back to lift. So like that's one of those things that like you got to change. Like just watching you deadlift and talk and hearing you talk about a lot of people about deadlifting, it's definitely helped me like try to just make small adjustments to make my lifts better.
Right. And I have one of the strangest deadlift techniques that, but it was one I found because I was a sumo puller in powerlifting. And when I went to start strongman, they're like, there's no sumo. And I'm like, I got to change this.
Yeah.
And I put my feet, I tried bringing my feet in and moving my feet around. And all of a sudden I put my feet really close together and it was like, whoop. I'm like, okay. And the craziest thing is I was like a low 700-pound puller, sumo. And then I do that and I pull 800 at the strongman contest at Van Hatfield's meet. I broke the amateur record, which was like 755, and I pulled 800 that day against Travis Ortmeyer.
Well, and that's one of the biggest questions you always get, no matter where we go. I think you must have answered that like at least 1,000 times since we've met.
Yeah, and it's just like it's the position where I'm just the most comfortable. I know it looks awkward, but I feel good pulling from there, and I don't get hurt pulling from there, so it works. At the end of the day, you have the form Nazis that will just, oh no, you're supposed to look. Take that, realize they're part of the Dunning-Kruger effect, and push that aside, and you go with the best techniques that fits your body.
Exactly.
Everybody's going to be a little bit different. So that standard form, start as a basis, and then develop your form from there.
Yep, and I can't agree with that. We just had Coach Ken, and he completely explained that with Brian, because he's like, Brian, having to adjust his deadlift, everything looks perfect, but then all of a sudden, just because of the sheer size of the mechanic, that they had to make just an awkward adjustment, but it worked, and so that's why his deadlift, Brian's deadlift, looks different, because his deadlift had to evolve because of his size.
He's a sumo puller with his hands on the outside of the bar.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
It's the easiest way I can explain it to people.
Yeah, what I'm saying, and that's one of those things that's it's just insane.
Yeah, which at Worlds hurts him on the car deadlift. It doesn't hurt him on the keg deadlift, but it hurts him on the car deadlift because the car deadlift apparatus is really
very narrow. Yeah, very narrow.
So it brings him in actually a little more narrow than I think he's used to.
Yeah.
But everything else, he just absolutely destroys it on. So
that's it. And with everything coming up and everything happening in strongman, I know, Nick, you retired, but and there's always that call. There's always that but the thing is you've been pretty strict about like, no, I'm retired. I do powerlifting. This is what I do. Yeah. But it's you're not retired from strongman. You're just retired from competing. And because at your heart, this is what you love.
It is. Honestly, it is. I mean, strange things happen, but you never know.
You never know.
Am I going to take strongman completely out of my training? No. So I will still be doing events. I like doing farmers walks when I'm getting ready for a powerlifting meet. I like doing yokes when I'm getting ready for a powerlifting meet. Both of those actually have direct application to powerlifting. Your walkouts, your yoke is going to help a ton with your walkouts.
Yep.
And the farmer's walk is going to help with stability on both the squat and the deadlift, and it's going to help your grip on the deadlift as well. So it makes it to where you don't even need to train your grip. It's just going to be there.
Well, because there's no straps in powerlifting.
No straps. But there's thumb locks, which I kind of think needs to be fixed.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, it's brutal.
Yeah. So I think the thumb lock should go away. No. I really do. It's too much for the guys that are blessed long enough to have hands that are long enough to get a hold of. It's an advantage. It's an advantage as much as using straps. And then if you're a sumo puller, that the bar just gives now anyway, and so the more narrow your hands are on a sumo pull, the more advantage it gets you.
Yeah,
it's gone too far. So anyway,
like if anyone's listening, understand that we're willing to talk about that.
Unless you want to deadlift on the squat bar.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then we can talk a different story. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they should bring axle deadlifting to powerlifting.
No.
Nope.
But what they should bring back is squatting and deadlifting on the same bar. I think it would be just fantastic.
It does keep it fair.
Well, if you're watching Eddie Cohen's lifts back in the day when he's pulling sumo, and his hands are still in, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
He'd get maybe an inch out of the bar.
Yeah.
These guys getting 5 and 6 inches out of the bar, or maybe 4 to 5 inches.
Yeah.
Coming out of the slack coming out of that bar before it comes off the ground.
Because that's something
not
I've
what
heard.
it's intended to be.
Yeah, and I've heard quite a bit of people saying that they've had to learn to pull out the slack before they can pull out the lift.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, if they're saying it, then there's something to it.
Right. No, for sure. I mean, it is one very contributing factor of why the deadlift number has jumped up the way it has. So, and it really unfairly benefits the sumo guys because no matter what you do, pulling conventional, you're not going to get that type of bend out of the bar. You're not going to get the same advantage out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're pulling a lot wider.
Talking on this today.
You know what I'm saying?
That's going to make a lot of people angry.
Oh, yeah, but you know what, though? Like I said, we're always willing to have a conversation about it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you're going to break the guy's records, then do it on the same equipment.
Exactly. Do it the same style. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Really prove it different. Otherwise, guess what? You just set your own record.
Right. But I would like to see the thumb lock go away, and I would like to see deadlifting and squatting on the same bar. So that's going to change some of the squat bars because they're getting like super thick and super wide.
Yeah.
And then it's going to change some of the deadlift bars, which are actually getting the same. They're getting super thin and super long.
Yeah.
And kind of reel that in a little bit to where, you got to get back to the basics.
Exactly.
You're not going to get 4 to 5 inches out of the bar before it comes off the ground. Oh,
yeah. That's how it goes.
So there's that.
There is that. Yeah. Thanks for my tip. So we got the Shaw Classic. I want to mention Chad's show. I had the information written down, and I freaking don't know where I put my damn notebook because his strongman show is coming up
soon.
Yeah, real soon. I'm trying to see if I can find the
like
date.
In this month, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is this month. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Good thing is you got the computer right there.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm looking at it.
I don't have my glasses, so I couldn't.
Columbus, Missouri. It's going to be July 8th. So, you know what I'm saying? So just letting you guys know that the show is getting ready to happen. Brian Shaw will be there. So if you want to meet Brian Shaw, guess what? Show up. And Brian even said that he was going to donate his money to a charity that was going to be there for the event. So I thought that was a pretty big thing for him. So Chad, if you're listening, you know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that we put your show out there too, because guess what? We want to make sure that we're promoting strongman out there. You know, we're going to probably get Chad on here to actually maybe on an episode coming up here so we can get him to talk about the actual his show coming up.
Yeah, we can do that next week.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get it in next week so we can get him out there because, like I said, we want to make sure that we're promoting this stuff. We want to make sure that we're promoting the community and that they understand that, guess what? Go out there and compete because that's what makes this great.
Oh, it just makes it fun. I mean, you do all the training, you put all the work, the rewards go into the contest. And just have fun. And it doesn't matter if you beat other people. It matters if it beats you. So just go and compete against yourself. And if you keep getting better, that's all that matters. In the end, just be the best you can be. And eventually, you end up beating everybody else at the same time.
You know what I'm saying?
Pretty darn close.
Pretty damn close. Well, Nick, with that being said, let these people hear those words, and it'll take us on out.
Well, as always, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, train hard, train smart, and be the best you can be. Till next time.